right, hey folks, what's going on? We're gonna do some artwork today. So my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online. And we're creating an adventure for the Eberron campaign setting. So give me a second here. I am looking to see where. There I am. Looks like I'm live now. As far as I can tell, I couldn't see it popping up. So
Looks like I'm live now.
doing a mic check here.
I couldn't see it popping up, so like I'm live.
Doing a mic check here.
I couldn't see it popping up, so like I'm live.
It seems a little quiet to me. Anyone out there that's in the audience, when you catch hold of this, if I seem muted, let me know, and I'll see if I can do something to bump the volume. So I think it's okay, but I'm not 100% sure. So Eberron. I'm a big D&D enthusiast. I've been making content on DMsGuild for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for the past since 2017. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999, and I've been an Eberron enthusiast since 2004, but I haven't created anything specifically for Eberron yet. So this adventure is kind of, I haven't actually published an adventure yet either. So this is allowing me to publish an adventure and to give homage to the Eberron campaign setting, which I love. And so I'm really excited about this. We're getting close to being done with the production of the adventure itself. So I have gone through my intro, and now I can actually get to work. So if you think this stuff is fun, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Here's a bunch of other books that I've created on the DMsGuild already. They're full of my artwork and my ideas. They all have free previews. Be welcome to check them out just to see the kind of stuff that I do. And this is the book cover we created back around episode 40. We're currently on episode 591. And we're creating monster tokens. So for those that aren't familiar already, this is a 16:9 format we're using for the PDF document that we're creating. You can see here that it fills that space on a device. Horizontally, this is the 16:9 format. Vertically, each column is also a 16:9 format. And Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition is heralded as being stat heavy, like being intense stat blocks.
Hey Fox, it's good to see you, my guy.
Right on, my guy. So D&D is a little lambasted, I guess is the right term, for having too large of a stat block. That could be much simpler. Be that as it may, I have found that this 5.5 inch wide, 9 inch tall space is great for almost all typical monsters. Like the Wraith fits inside one column, the Wraith fits inside one column. Vulpina Creeper, which is a modification of the Yellow Musk Creeper for this adventure, it also fits inside one column. So fun space, and we have enough of a niche, a nook over here to the side of the stat block. I could have made it shorter, but this was a really easy place for us to drop in the tokens that we're creating. So I'm going to dive into this token here. I'm going to click this and make it called Wraith, because there's Wraiths in the cemetery that will attack your characters. Spoiler alert for those that are out there, but there's incorporeal undead in the cemetery. Watch your huevos. We're going to that's a rough sketch of a Wraith. Let's actually we're gonna drop this into the trash folder, and let's see if we can rebuild anew. So idea here for Wraith, it's an undead. The Wraiths in this adventure are officers in the battalion that was initially staged to what's the word I'm looking for? To confine the evil coming out of the manifest zone, and ultimately the entire regiment was killed or died due to undeath, and a cemetery was created as a sort of forgotten monument to the soldiers that fell in defending the Carnwood from undead risk. And now that the necrotic energies of the manifest zone have seeped into the cemetery, the majority of soldiers buried there have risen as long dead, a type of basically a really tough form of skeleton. But all the officers that were given their own mausoleum and crypts, they're all risen as incorporeal creatures. So I am going through the process here of creating a Wraith token. Wraiths are generally billowy, shadow type creatures, incorporeal, so they're like smoke. Right now I'm just kind of laying down some base framework here for a posture for a previously humanoid creature. I guess if anything they're like what would you say? They're kind of like ghosts in that sense, for those that aren't familiar already. So I don't need to do a full body. I can have it billow away into shadow and smoke along the base, but I need to retain enough of the body's what's the right word? Enough silhouette of the body to know that that it was a humanoid creature at one point. And if I'm able, I'm going to embellish it with armor and helm to make it take on a more military look to it, so it connects to the narrative and the lore of the region. So the idea is I'm going to probably Lord Soth this a little bit. On a bucket helmet and give it some armor. And once we have a base frame that we like, we can start filling in the billowy shadow that makes up its incorporeal form. We're really, really close. I am working on the final how to say this. We're basically done with all the significant illustrations inside of this document. Now we're just doing little corner pieces and these creature tokens here today. But we're really, really getting done with all of the artwork for this project. So very soon I'm going to I've got some text corrections to make, and I need to do all the hyperlinking throughout the document. I also need to build the map keys for the various battle maps that are throughout the adventure. Like this is wall terrain, it provides cover. This is a puddle of water, don't drink it. That stuff like that, like little a key, like little icons across the map to indicate what each piece of topography or structure stuff is. And so I need to do that. I need to do the hyperlinking for all of the text in the document to lead you from one part of the adventure to the next. Once we get all of the once we're able to import the maps into the actual document, then we'll build a frame, a hyperlink frame to drop over it, so that when you click on different areas of the map, it'll take you to the appropriate page that has the information about that particular area on a map. And I might do some of that on stream, but it's pretty boring. So comparatively, it doesn't allow me to have a conversation. I'm always focusing and concentrating on what is the text reading. So I'm doing a lot of internal reading that isn't as entertaining as me being able to just ramble about stuff while I'm throwing pixels around. So we're gonna have a shift in the stream once we're done with all the assets. So my intention is to begin that asset process this weekend and start building towards getting this thing locked down and resolved, so that we can probably publish it in December. It's November 12, 2025 here in America when I'm recording this, and that would give me 40 days. No, 50 days. If I wanted to have it published before the end of 2025, I have 50 days to do it. And that's feeling fairly realistic. If I can get this thing, if I can get these tokens resolved in the next, say, 2 weeks, we'll be doing really good. So we've got, I think, 7 different tokens that we need to complete for us to have this block finished. Here, let's grab what's left to do. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So we've got the Wraith, the Volpina Creeper. We have a Yugoloth. We did a Yugoloth illustration like 7 months ago, but I hate it now, so I'm going to redo it. I want to do a Sturge Mob illustration. We have a Shambling Mound that we did about 7 some odd months ago, but I hate it now, so I'm going to replace that. A Spectre similar to a Wraith, but it's got to get done, and then Blood Golem, which is a big boss fight type monster. So these are the 7 tokens I'm going to be working on. Starting, obviously, we're working on the Wraith today. I'm finishing up a Gate Seal illustration, and I'm texturing a door color diagram. Then we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 spots throughout the adventure that are here we go. Let's grab this one real quick. If this spot were to be empty here, so I had this little space here, there's 9 instances throughout this book where there's a spot on a page, one of the columns, that is basically the size of this selected area, that could use some sort of texture or spot illustration or like doodad of some sort that shouldn't be very heavy lifting to produce, but needs to be done throughout various pages in the document. So I want to see about just filling those little gaps in, because if you've got big empty spaces, if the entire book is covered with visual stuff, text, maps, diagrams, illustrations, and then you have all these little pockets where there's nothing, it feels weird. It feels incomplete. So I'm a completionist. I just want to fill in all those blocks with something interesting, and I have no idea what those things are going to be. So we're going to be basically just letting the muse guide the show and take us to whatever it is that she thinks is cool. You know what? I feel like I want to grab an illustration from D&D Beyond and Wraith. Let's look at the official illustration of a Wraith. That's very similar to what we're actually doing here. I like that. Open image in a new tab. Copy. Paste. Ref. The mausoleum painting that we were working on yesterday actually fits the scene pretty well. Hold on. Let's just go take a look at that real quick. What was that? That was page... oh, that's right. We changed it. Oh, well, I'm not going to bother. I like that helm. This guy's pretty wow. This guy looks surprisingly Karnathy. Like this armor pattern feels rather Karnathish. That might not be a bad illustration. Okay, well, let's just use that as inspiration since I like it a lot. That. Here. Yeah, we'll do this like that. Just gonna rough it in right now, just to get a form that I like, and then we can build it out from there. Here we go. We'll just lay in a sketch first, and then we'll do the like we typically do. We do a rough sketch, and then we refine the sketch into the line art that we want. Then we fill in the color. Then we blend the line art into the color, merge everything down, and then do texturing and lighting effects. So we're going to reach a point probably pretty soon here where the artwork will be done, but the book isn't. So there's going to be a transition from creating assets. Like my weekday mornings are going to shift soon away from producing the Eberron art into whatever is next. I'll run out of art assets to do, and I won't have a reason to stream Eberron art in the mornings like this anymore, which means I can shift to another subject. And I'm still sussing out what that's going to be, but I suspect I'm going to do I'll do at least one palette cleansing of just a landscape painting.
There you ruin my.
Yeah, so I mean, we're always doing artwork in the mornings. Monday through Friday in the morning is art time. The muse has to be satisfied. So she gets her artwork every day. But yeah, what we do artwork on shifts over time as we move from one project to the next. That feels good. I like that. Throwing hands. We're throwing up hands here, folks. Like that. So we'll probably just do some Bob Ross landscape stuff. That's like a real go-to comfort zone for me. It's really good, like I said, a palette cleanser to clear Eberron from my system to get us ready to start working on something else. We have a few book covers that we need to build. We need to build a book cover for Martial Powers. We need a book cover for Bastion campaigns. We need a book cover for Kaiju and Constructs. We also need a Spelljammer subclass book. So there's a lot of book cover potential that we'll be working on. But again, I want to start off just by clearing my palette and just doing some landscape art just to relax and enjoy ourselves in the mornings for a little bit.
Hey, what's going on? You resist evolution.
Bob Ross paintings. Well, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I've got a few different what's the word I'm looking for? Microsoft screensavers, or not screensavers, but backgrounds, like login background screens typically have a lot of really great natural pictures of nature and locations and stuff that I tend to grab and collect for me to then use to paint as an illustration, or as a Bob Ross style painting. So we'll be grabbing some work like that, and I like that. The hand's kind of curling around a little bit into a fist. I think that's really cool. I have this open-handed here.
Fist of Rage. Fist of Undead Rage. There we go. Man. My tools are getting messed around with. Here. This is what I wanted to hear. And no, I want the pen. Thank you. Photoshop 25 is not as responsive as earlier versions of Photoshop. I can't just punch through key like it has a slow registry of me switching the tools and actually being able to use them. Sometimes I'll switch a tool and then I'll try to use the tool and it still thinks it thinks it's still using the other tools. So like when I think I'm going to draw a line, instead I just shake the piece around like that. It's obnoxious. That feels pretty good. I can extend these out. Really rough right now. I'll make this kind of like, I want its undead shroud to be kind of like a cape. Something roughly like that, similar to the illustration. There, or I can flip it. Yeah, I kind of like that. Jiggity, jiggity. He's dancing, y'all. He's dancing. Sorry. All right, shut it, Kearney. All right, we got a good initial sketch here. So let's drop its opacity down here and let's do some line cleanup on that. Add in some detail now that we have an idea of what we're looking at here. Spikes approved. I don't think that's Karnath standard issue. I think it's just been warped by the necrotic energies, but I like them. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, D? Well, good morning, my guy. Yeah, be welcome, man. I'm proud to have you here. That. And here. I don't have to be too accurate with the anatomy because it is, after all, a wraith made of smoke and undead. But I need to provide enough structure for the audience to grok what it is that I got going on here. that looks a lot more wicked. That's the stuff. That's the stuff that I was looking for. There, build that out. There we go. That feels really good. Now we're just gonna let it billow out and there and there. There. I'm not talking as much as I think I should. Just call me Mr. Ed. Yeah, that looks really cool. I like that. Let's add in some extra armor layer here for the pauldrons. There we go. Get those things out of the way. Exactly. Yeah, that feels good. Bring in a frame here. Here, like that. Let's grab this and extend it out a little bit. Nice. All right, we'll want to do get the arms in here. We'll do some musculature for reference. Then I'm gonna push these things up into here a little bit. And I think I want skeletal thin arms to further emphasize its undead nature. We can figure out the draping of its shroud once we get its anatomy filled in properly. There. This guy looks really cool. That. I like that. I like this. I like this structure here. That makes a lot of sense to me. So I'll see if I can do something similar to that. There we go. I feel like I want to fill in that space there. The space. We're going to do something similar. The Spectre is going to be similar in style as this. A Spectre is another incorporeal creature. I should no, not like that. Let's get rid of that. Let's put these drop spikes down in here like this. Has a sort of girdling effect. Drop that in here like that. Let's get these built out properly here. No. Not like that. Build our Fist of Rage here with our Fingers of Plenty. No, not liking that. Doesn't have to be very complicated as a hand. Let's twist that there. Something like elbow would be about here. Just want to build that arm up into here. I'm still not liking this hand. Here. I've got a heater going and it's getting too warm for me. I need to turn it off. I generally just use a space heater because it's just me here during the day. So I don't have a lot of need to have my home all heated up. I just kind of have the heater follow me around wherever it is that I'm spending my time. And the bulk of my time that I spend is right here. So I just have a little space heater. But that thing kicks out heat, and it gets to be a little overwhelming after a little while. Let's keep these and drop them down to here. Taper that in here like that. We can fix this. Nice. Where is my music? This guy's throwing gain signs. He knows where it's at. I am just
getting really close to just matching that pose. That's okay. Good poses are good poses. There. Been rewatching the Stranger Things series in anticipation of the new episodes being released on Thanksgiving. I'm good with it coming to an end. It was a fun ride. Thumbs up, y'all. Wraith Knight says thumbs up. Let's leave that as a fist. A defiant fist. There we go. That should serve. This feels too big. Let's bring that down. But this feels too small. Free transform. Let's just bring it down a bit. Free transform again. Bring that up. And then thin it down. Nope. Can I get this? Can I get a good grip for this? 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's a good pose. And I'm fine with your defiant fist over here, buddy. Bring that out a little bit. Bring that here. Let's do it something like that. Then we can bring down the size of the hand a little bit. Cut paste, free transform, bring it down a little bit. Oh, I like that. That feels good. Merge that down. Yeah, this is starting to look really good. And then we can make our shroud here, coming off of these pauldrons in here. And then I'm going to have that bleed into here, removing those borders like that. Erase that, erase that. More refined than before. Not quite there. Get rid of this. Like that. Bring that in. Like that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think I want to do another layer of cleanup on it, so I'm going to drop the opacity down on this a little bit and just further refine it. This is typical. We'll do just a general blurb, like a rough sketch, and then we'll refine the sketch, and then we refine the sketch again into line art, and then typically that's at the point that we can actually start doing coloring and stuff. Here, like that, and then here, bring that in. Like that. So we're just cleaning up the form. It's all here. We just got to pull it out a little bit, make it gooder. Like that. That feels pretty good. Nice. More refined than before. Good enough. Armor here, like that, and bring this around, bring this around. There. Get the pauldron in, and then we'll put in the spikes. That curve. There we go. Better curve. I'll take this out to here, and then we bring it up to here. Let's grab this and bring that in a touch like that. There we go. That's a little better proportions. Good. Now we'll have the billowing. Here. Like that.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. And then we bring in the skeletal arms again. And we bring this in here like that. Push the opacity on this down a little bit more. There. I'll take that to there, and then we're going to bring this in here like that. And then we can build out these ribs. Like that. There we go. Bring this around here like that for some structural integrity. Let's get this girdle figured out. Do I want to? Something in here like this, maybe. There, like that. Nah. 7:30. Okay, still got 20 minutes to go. We'll get the line art done. We'll start working on this. So what'll probably happen is we'll probably finish this tomorrow, and then we'll start in on. We're just going to go from, token to token to token until we finish them. There's only 7 of them, and if each one takes me 2 days each, we'll have them done by the 26th before Thanksgiving. All right, hey, that's my 20-minute timer, so I've got 20 minutes left for today's session. Just as a heads up, I've got Thanksgiving as a holiday here in America, so I won't be streaming then, but that won't be until the 28th, so that's 2 weeks from tomorrow. I have my monthly journey downtown to Seattle core. I'll be doing that on the 19th, which is a week from now, so I'll be MIA on that day. But otherwise, I'm committed to the mission. I've got Friday the 29th off, so I plan on I can run stream and run long if I want to. I don't know what we'll be working on because we should be finishing up our tokens by at that point. If we haven't, we can certainly get them done by that day. Let's bring this in. So far, so good. So what? floofy cloud stuff here that'll end up getting blended in. Let's see. Let's drop the opacity on this a little bit, and let's build our hands. Here. Here. Crows are in a fight with seagulls outside. Crows and seagulls are just natural enemies in an urban environment along the sea. They're both trash birds. They both love going through trash together. Seagulls are huge, so it takes about 3 crows to intimidate a single seagull. But I enjoy the conflict. Crows are so bitchy. Let's grab that and let's bend this out here like that. No, that's a little off. Let's bring these forward. That feels better. Feels a lot better. Let's bring that over here a little bit. Size seems about right. Free transform. Let's make it that. That'll do. I'll probably end up arguing with this hand again at some point, but I think for now it's okay. There we go. Let's do that. Now we can push this back up. Merge down. There, that feels a little better. Now we go back into here. I like this hand still. That's doing just fine. Bring that in here. That. I like the idea of this disappearing into the shroud, so I want to get rid of some of that rib. Yeah, that looks really cool. I like that. Still hating on this hand. Yeah, no, this was the proper configuration like this. So let's straighten that out. Bring that in here like that. Get rid of the internal edges. It'll make it seem more incorporeal, I believe. So let's do that. There, and here we go. That seems a little bit more on point with what I wanted to do. There we go. What does this button do? Hold on, let's do this. Let's see if I squinch it just a smidge. I think I like that. Still pretty rough, but I think I'm happy with it. This arm should be brought out here like that. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Tilt it a little bit more. That's what we needed. There we go. Let's merge this back down. Free transform. It's got a little bit of a lean to it now. If I free transform and warp it a little bit. There, now we can kick it just a smidge like that. Yeah, that's not so bad. True transform. Make this hand a little bit bigger. Free transform. Bring it in just a touch. Just grab that arm. Pull it out a little bit more. Oh, I like that. All right, let's see if we can make something out of this. So pretty happy with the line art as it sits. I'm going to drop the opacity on it a bit, of course. We're going to take these other bits that we worked on. We're going to drop those into the trash. Now, let's see. So we have line art here, which is faded. And then we're going to start just dropping in. We're just going to use black. Maybe we'll have some twinges of red in there someplace, but I think for the most part, I'm just going to go with black. So I think I want to start towards the middle here in these dark patches here in the interior. I'm just gonna push this blackness around a little bit just to see what we can come up with. See if we can get a cool effect. Maybe we'll make the armor have a reddish quality to it. And then we'll blend that into the black. Wow, that seagull is pissed off. What is up, guy? Seagull's out my window. Again, fighting crows for trash. They pitch a fit. Intensity on that smudge, get that pushing out a little bit more. I think this will work. Make a second layer, and since we're here, I'm gonna block this armor into red. I think this will end up looking really cool. I spec. Clean up in here. And once we have all the base color framed in, we'll be able to start doing lighting and texturing and smoky effects. And I think that, get this in here. Yeah, like that. Bring that in here like that. There we go. Bring this in here like that. There we go. I think blending the red of this into the blackness of its billow will, I think it'll end up being a neat effect. We'll have to find out tomorrow when I have more time. I'm down to 2 minutes, so I'm just gonna fill in this armor bit, and then we'll pick this up again tomorrow and continue building our tokens. I stream like this Monday through Friday in the mornings, and then we do game design on Mondays and Thursday nights, as well as Saturday mornings. And once we get back, we'll be doing some more playtesting. Probably, I want to say mid-December, I'll fire up another round of Martial Powers playtesting. And that's typically on Saturday mornings, but but depending on who's available and who's volunteering, I might switch it to Monday nights. So Thursday generally remains a game design night for me, and Monday and Saturday are days that I have open to, which I've typically been doing game design in the evenings on Monday night, and Saturday morning has been our playtesting session since April. But we just completed our most recent round of playtesting, so I'm processing the changes to character classes and subclasses and magic items and all that stuff on our Saturday morning stream instead of running the playtest. I'm using that Saturday morning time to update it. So this Saturday morning, we're going to look at the magic weapon and magic armor design, of how to use how to translate the weapons, the magic weapons and stuff that are in the DMG, to translate that into the martial powers mechanics, so that the two are complementary. If with martial powers, with the amount of damage that characters can basically create at will by expending mana as part of their attack actions, I need to be mindful about how much extra damage can be gained from weapons, and I have a solution for it, and we've started building that out. So on Saturday morning, for anyone that's interested to catch it after the fact or to tune in, we'll be let's build this out here. We'll be looking at structuring magic items with the martial power system. So it's a pretty clever solution. I'm really happy with it. But we'll walk through that on Saturday, and then we'll continue working on subclasses and refining class features and stuff like that as well. So I'm just going to block this in. Once I finish this little bit of blocking, and then I'll call it for the day, and then we'll pick it up tomorrow. That's here. We can do something like smudge this out to bleed into the shroud. So we'll need to do. I'm gonna leave that be for now. We're gonna leave that be for now. So when we come back, we're going to block all this into black, and then we'll use the red to differentiate to have the hands stand out. That'll fade into the black.
I'm supposed to be going, but I want to just pick at this for another minute.
I think that'll be fun. Hey, Steve.
It's good to see you, my guy. I'm just finishing up for the day. So I'll be blipping out of here in a hot second. I'm going to drop that down. Something like that. Get rid of that. We can get rid of it for now. All right, cool. So when we pick it up, we'll continue working on our Wraith. Then we'll have the Vulpina Creeper, and we have a slew of monsters that we need to do here in the Monster Manual section of the adventure. But these are the last. These are the last like structural illustrations that we're going to do. We have a number of little corner pieces, texture, and stuff that we want to do. But this is it for now. So I'm going to go ahead and cut stream. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. Thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys being around. Anyone that's new to the channel, thanks a lot for checking it out. Like and subscribe. I'm here 8 times per week. So I'll see you guys on the next side. Cheers.